This week on Illegal Aliens, Isabel lets Alex know that a party exists, Maria isn't some Pollyanna, and Max explores the mating rituals of gay slugs. Take off your coat and stay a while because we're looking at Heatwave, episode 9 of season 1 of Roswell. I'm Chris.
I'm Claire, and this is Illegal Aliens, a Roswell podcast. Heatwave first aired on December 1st, 1999.
It was directed by Patrick R. Norris, who went on to direct 12 more episodes of Roswell, and also directed for The O.C., Friday Night Lights, Chuck, Gossip Girl, and Parenthood.
And Heatwave was written by Jason Katims, who we last saw writing Leaving Normal. This is the 4th out of 15 episodes that Jason wrote for the show. Let's start the recap.
On a hot night, Liz goes downstairs to the kitchen for cold milk and sees Maria and Michael making out like crazy.
The next day, Sheriff Valenti questions Alex about Topolsky's disappearance, but Alex says they were discussing his class schedule for the upcoming term.
Liz tells Max that Valenti is talking to Alex, but admits that Alex won't tell her or Maria more details about the interrogation. She also drops hints about the party at the old soap factory, but Max doesn't offer an invitation. With alarm when Liz suggests that Michael and Maria are getting involved.
Liz tries to mend fences with Alex, but he refuses to open up until she shares the secret, until he tells her whatever he told Valenti isn't his secret to tell.
Out in the schoolyard, Liz asks Isabel about her reluctance to go ahead with dating any of her admirers, and Isabel tells her how difficult it is for her to let anybody new in. When Liz is uncertain what to say to her about Alex, Isabel transforms nail polish into a new shade and offers to look into Alex herself.
Isabel dreamwalks Alex, and is surprised to see him meeting Dream Isabel in a ballroom to dance. Alex tells Dream Isabel that he knows that she has more substance than a pretty face, and urges her to open up to him.
The following morning, Max lectures Isabel about dreamwalking Alex, and she's less than forthcoming about what she saw. When Max pushes her, Isabel says she can handle Alex with a little charm.
Max meets Liz in the biolab, and she asks why it's okay for Michael and Maria to be together, but not for her and Max. He confesses he's afraid of everything changing when they get together, and of hurting her in the end. The biology teacher pokes her head into the lab just at the right time to spoil the moment for a kiss.
Isabel invites Alex to the old soap factory, and it takes several repetitions for him to understand exactly what that means.
At the soap factory, Isabel leads Alex off in search of a quiet place to talk, and Liz attracts obnoxious suitors offering Jell-O Shots, but Max appears and manages to dispatch the competition.
Alex is still awkward talking to Isabel, but when she reassures him that he can trust her, he reacts defensively, jumping to the conclusion that she was using her beauty to manipulate him.
Max and Liz go outside to steal a kiss, but Kyle interrupts, followed by a police car. Liz and Max go back inside to retrieve their friends, but a stranger passes liquor onto Liz and Alex's hands just in time for Valenti to catch them.
In the jail, others are collected by their parents, but Valenti tells Liz and Alex that he convinced their parents to leave them overnight, hinting that he wants to get some answers. Panicked, Liz suggests getting their stories straight, but Alex loses his temper. He's in jail and he's done lying. Outside,
Isabel tells Max that they should have told Alex after all. Inside, Alex is so upset at Isabel's seduction plot that he threatens to tell Valenti everything. Liz finally tells him the truth, beginning with the gesture in case they're overheard, but finally saying it out loud when Alex doesn't get the hint. Tearfully, Liz promises never to lie to him again.
Valenti arrives and Alex says that he's ready to talk, but he insists on speaking up in front of Liz and tells Valenti off for harassing him, saying that he couldn't have had anything to do with Topolsky's disappearance. When he threatens to sue, Valenti lets them both go.
Outside, Alex tells Liz that he still doesn't believe in aliens, but he seems satisfied that this is the secret she believes. He hugs her goodnight, wishes her well, and they part friends.
Max arrives at Liz's balcony later after the heat passes, but when he tries to apologize, the two of them finally get to have their kiss.
And that's all for the recap. So, is there anywhere you want to start with the discussion?
Yeah, kind of as usual, I am drawn to the ending of this great moment when Alex is told the truth and really does step up and stand up to Valenti on their behalf.
Yes, he knows stuff, Alex, and he's very good at manipulating that knowledge here, I think.
Yeah.
It's a particularly Alex response. He doesn't believe in aliens, but he also doesn't want to be held, and he knows how to get them out, and he'll do it because he's
Yes.
loyal to a
Yes.
fault, really, when it comes down to the point.
Yes. Yes, he definitely is. And yeah, I think it's definitely this point for Liz, since he really doesn't believe about Isabel and the others at this point, but he is, I guess, starting to see how much Liz has been pushed around and not wanting to stand for that.
Well, it's that great line he gets at the end, I believe that you believe it.
Yes. Yes.
So even if she doesn't convince him of all of the particulars, she does convince him of that anyway.
Yes, of her sincerity.
Yes, exactly. Although I've got to say, the Canadian in me does really like that Alex is my reaction to that upward pointing gesture the first time he sees it. Oh,
Yes.
right, so they're Canadian then.
Yes.
If only it were that simple.
Yes, and underscores, I guess, the notion of kind of the maps dictating the way we see the world, almost.
Yes.
Which he is meaning literally up in the air.
Yep. And that'll be our, well, I was going to say our sort of catchphrase gesture, but it's not, because I don't think we see it again.
No, we might not. You're right.
I think we've inducted everybody into the We Are Aliens Club now. That we're going to.
Well, we've got a few left,
Well,
yes.
no, you're right. I'm speaking too soon
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Almost everyone.
Yes, I don't think anybody gets told in quite this way. It's kind of the rest of them go through more in action than...
Yeah, I think maybe that's what I'm thinking of. We're never quite this explicit again.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so we have another great extended dreamwalking sequence to delve into with Isabel and Alex.
We do, and you know what? I still find it invasive.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I know it's all to a noble end, but
Yeah.
very glad it's not a thing outside their reality.
Yes. Kind of, this time watching, couldn't help but be struck by the look of almost childlike amazement on dreamwalking Isabel's face.
Oh, I know. It's fantastic. She's just
Yes.
so obviously overwhelmed and out
You're
of her
right.
depth here. And, I mean, I might be overreading it, I don't know, but I get the sense she almost startles herself awake on purpose before that kiss.
Yeah, I've
I
definitely...
don't think she'd know what to do if she witnessed all of that somehow.
Right, yes. That does sound possible to me. And an episode quite light on other alien powers. We have the transformation of the nail polish, which we can file under the molecular manipulation again.
And quite a cruel trick. Does make me wonder if she has to go shopping for nail polish, though. If she can
Right.
just conjure it out of nowhere.
Well, she can change the color. I would imagine that she possibly could make nail polish out of component ingredients.
Oh, see, it looked clear to me, that bottle. So I've obviously not quite paid attention or something.
Yeah, I assumed it was a clear coating or something that she changed into.
Yeah.
The bright blue.
Either way, it was a very
Yes.
Isabel trick.
Yeah. Yeah, I did notice that we kind of have a fair number of alien kisses in this one, and really none of the distinctive significance that we're going to layer over that kind of thing much later on in the season.
Or even that we were laying over it before. Yeah.
Right. Yes. What is Maria talking about? What would happen if he kisses you?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we've temporarily forgotten that that was a plot point that interested us in favor of focusing on the romance, I think.
Yeah.
Which is good for this story. It works.
It does. Yes.
I think we're doing a lot without getting too bogged down in the alien science of it all, actually, at the moment.
Yeah. That.
And certainly nice to see them attempting to have normal lives. However
Yes.
briefly. Even if it does land Liz and Alex in prison overnight.
Right. And I think I do kind of want to talk about Alex's hyper-defensive reaction when he does realize that Isabel is charming him.
Yes. But what about it particularly?
Um, well, the fact that he lays this value judgment on it, that it is low, and I'm not quite sure how to unpack that. that
I think he senses that to an extent he's being manipulated.
Yeah.
He sort of intuits that she somehow detected his crush and is capitalizing on that.
Right.
Which, if he's right about, and he's not completely wrong, really.
Right, yes.
I sort of see his side of it. Particularly because a couple of days ago, timeline-wise, or was it days ago? Who knows? But
Yeah.
recently, anyway, he had Kyle accusing him of trying to wrangle secrets from him.
Right.
In much the same way. Of
Yeah.
double-checking on him to make sure he was keeping the secret. So there's that sense of paranoia is still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if it's kind of a little bit of an adolescent defensiveness and insecurity, because I'm not sure. I think that it kind of seems to me that a lot of men I know would kind of take the attitude of, well, yes, of course, a pretty girl is going to try to use her beauty to get her way. It just kind of goes with the territory. You learn to spot the signs.
This may be where it emerges. I went to an all-girls school for 14 years. The politics of this are not something I'm familiar with.
Right.
But no, it doesn't seem completely like Alex. But given that he's been wrestling with all his nearest and dearest friends, keeping a blatant secret from him for weeks, I do sort of buy it. I mostly buy it. I buy it enough for it to be effective.
Yeah, and I can certainly see him being very disappointed when he thought Isabel might actually like him for him, and then, oh no, it's you too.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I sort of expect him to deflate more initially, rather than rise to immediate upset like that.
Right. Yes, and then when Liz basically excuses it on the grounds that Isabel is so frightened she didn't feel like she had another choice, kind of makes me wonder exactly what Alex thought her motives were, because he said that he doesn't believe that it's drugs. He knows that that doesn't really fit with Topolsky being around.
Yeah.
And he never really gives any hint of what he thinks is going on, if he even has any theories.
No. I think that's what frustrates him, though, because he is competent and clever and good at finding things out, and he just can't make any headway with this secret.
Right.
Except that apparently it's vital that he not tell anybody anything he might know about it.
Right.
So I suppose it's doubly frustrating because on the one hand, people keep trying to assess his loyalty when he's been best friends with Liz for, what did they agree, 5 years? I thought that was what they said, texture. I have no idea. But yeah, there's that, and there's also, on the other hand, he genuinely knows nothing. And people keep unwittingly pointing out that he still knows nothing while making sure he won't say anything.
Yes. I can certainly understand him being frustrated.
Yeah. And I think it just all must come to a head at that party, because it feels like so much more than a crush to Alex, I think.
Yes.
And he'd never have approached Isabel on his own, I don't think, but maybe I'm not fair to him here.
Yeah, it would certainly have taken him much longer.
Yes, I think that's what I mean.
Direct approach.
Yes. Old-fashioned charm coupled with a lot of nerve.
Yes, she's ballsy. She's got chutzpah.
She does at that.
And Max and Liz's story, I think, is a little harder to get a read on at this point, because it is just kind of one step in the progress of their relationship over.
Yes, we've been building this for
season.
so long, and we're still only at the beginning of that love story, really.
Yes, we don't have any chance to react, and we'll be getting into that a lot more next week.
Yeah, but we're finally at the starting place, which is nice.
We are, yes. And, oh, one other thing. I did find it interesting that it is landed in Liz's lap again to tell the secret to somebody else. But
Yes.
Isabel almost excuses it out in the alley by telling Max, "Oh, we were wrong, we should have told him earlier."
Yes, and they don't know at this point, do they, that Alex knows?
No,
So,
I'm not even sure if she had told him at that point, or if that is just leading up to the scene where Liz actually
I think you're right,
tells it.
yeah.
Yes. And it would definitely be interesting to imagine a version of the script in which it was Isabel and Alex caught in the jail cells or whatever.
Oh, that would be great.
Yes.
That would take
So
a
I'm not-
very different track.
It would, especially since I'm not sure if Alex would actually have listened to her at that point. It's because it's Liz, who he's known so long, that he can say, okay, even though this is a completely unbelievable thing, I believe that you believe.
Yes. Which I still think must be one of my favourite lines in that episode.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Alex's character summed up in a sentence, really.
You also very much like the line that, I only wish that I got drunk or did any other juvenile delinquency, but I didn't.
Yes. No, that is a great line, too.
Yes, yes,
It's proving again that it isn't only the aliens that are craving normal lives here.
yes, yes. There are a few very deep background subplots that I actually cut out of the recap just because they didn't really lead anywhere in this episode, but we have Maria and Michael's own back and forth over their heatwave reactions.
Oh god, and the conversations, yes.
Yes.
Help.
Which does give one really great line from Michael to Max saying, I keep feeling that just being who I am is going to hurt her in the end.
Yes, we're done quoting Ulysses and we're now being painfully, terrifyingly honest. It's great.
Yeah, yep. And we also have the introduction of Maria's mom, the wonderful Amy DeLuca.
Oh, she's delightful.
Yes,
Selling glow-in-the-dark cocktail sticks.
yes. And her backstory with Jim Valenti and the gradual bonding over the fact that they're both single parents now.
Yes, and his apologising for having once previously arrested her.
Yes.
I rewatched that scene because I was so confused. I'm sure I'd have
Right.
remembered seeing that. And then I realised, no, we're painting in history for them.
Yes. Yes, so she was one of an entire group of people who had chosen to protest the tearing down of some Native American building that the Native Americans wanted torn down.
It's a great story.
And he
it
picks
sounds
her
like
out of
Amy
the crowd.
DeLuca. It sounds like him too.
Yes. And he picks her out of the crowd because he had to arrest somebody and she was wearing a cute outfit.
And that was one way of getting her attention, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Not a strategy employed by any of our aliens, or indeed
No.
human teenagers this week, but I'm
yes.
sure it's...
Okay, is there anything else you wanted to...
I
Bring
think
up
that's
directly?
everything.
Okay. And one other thing for the discussion segment, friend of the show, Paul Mackey, sent us a couple of really cool voice messages. If anybody else wants to be featured on the show, you can email a sound file to illegalalienscast@gmail.com. And so there's one bit which is relevant to Heatwave, so here is Paul.
Hey there, Paul Mackey again. So one question I have relates to music on Netflix versus DVD versus original broadcast. On IdjitCast first season, we noticed that Supernatural's Netflix stream had generic canned music where the original broadcast and DVD had classic rock tracks. When I watched the stream version of Roswell, I barely recognized any of the music until finally I heard some Frost during season 2. Now that I'm watching DVDs, I'm still not recognizing anything. Is this because it's so early in a new show, like Buffy had odd bands at the Bronze that I'd never heard of before since early on? Or are the original needle drops from the show lost to the ages due to music licensing issues? In terms of heat wave specifically, it might be the fact that I'm from northern climes or my Nordic heritage, but hot weather is much more likely to generate a response like, "Go away, you're all sweaty," than to inspire intensive lip lock. Also, I don't buy it that Isabel has never dreamwalked a guy who was into her before. It seemed like it was portrayed like something she's done for fun in the past, and considering the number of guys who have a thing for her, as Liz said in the episode, she would have seen something like Alex's dream before, wouldn't she? I'm sure you guys will have much more to say about this episode in depth, so I'll leave you to it. Thanks, and talk to you later.
I agree with quite a lot of this, I've got to say. As somebody who's currently sitting in a stifling attic bedroom, I take his point completely about the heat wave not being conducive to kisses or indeed anything else.
Yep, I can agree there.
And I've also got to say, the thing that I always took away from that dream sequence isn't so much that Isabel is startled, impressed, insert as applicable here, that Alex likes her so much, or even that it's the first time that she's dreamwalked anyone who does like her. It's Alex's vulnerability in his response to her, I think.
Yes.
The fact that he's so... Well, that he looks so very much beyond the superficial with her. I think that's maybe the first that she's encountering there.
Yeah, that he's curious about what's behind that pretty face.
Yeah, that he wants to know her for her, and not for her looks.
Yes. Yes, and the whole romantic scene with getting the very high-profile indie band to play their dance.
Yes. Which I think comes round to something else Paul mentions, and that's the music.
Right.
Because I have been rewatching on Netflix. What I haven't been doing, though, is simultaneously rewatching on the DVD because of time constraints. So I can't really compare these two, and I've got to admit the only musical thing I actually remember is the iconic theme by Dido.
Right.
So if the stuff's changed over, I can't say that I've noticed or indeed know. And also, I think particularly if it changed from live streaming, or not live streaming, that wasn't a thing then, live airing.
Yes.
I definitely wouldn't know because I never caught the show live. That was your thing.
Yes.
So you can probably more directly speak to that. But
Yes, there definitely was a change from the original airing to the DVDs. It was a delay in getting the DVDs out because I think they were trying to renegotiate the music rights for the music they'd used originally, which they didn't have rights to use for home video. And then, in the end, had to go and find entirely new music to put for most of them on the DVDs. And season 3 finished airing in May of 2002. The season 1 DVD box set came out in February of 2004, and this was an enormous amount of time if you were a Roswell fan.
I bet.
And fans were actually trading homemade CDs with video files that had been recorded off of the air.
Oh, gosh. I was lucky and got all 3 at once. And we just devoured them as a family, so that was good.
Yes.
Probably much less painful.
Right. Okay. So I guess now it's time to pick an episode MVP.
Oh, goodness, that'll be hard. Lots of good work from all of them this week.
Yeah.
It's got to be Liz or Alex, doesn't it?
I was going to say it had to be Alex or Isabel, so we may have a point of intersection there.
Well, or Isabel too, I can see that as a...
Yeah, I can totally give it to Colin Hanks again.
So could I.
All right, okay.
The fact that we agree on him in the first place.
Yes.
Probably says something about Colin Hanks and his performance there.
Yes. Okay. And crazy whimsical ratings. I may go for 4 Jell-O shots.
Oh, 4 Jell-O shots is good. I'll go for 5 glow-in-the-dark alien cocktail sticks.
Excellent. Okay. And looping back to Paul, he had another message where he was giving us feedback about, yes. So it's the voicemail from Paul talking about Blood Brother. And Topolsky's last words.
Hi, Paul Mackey here of the Ghostlight Podcast and IdjitCast for the TV series Slings and Arrows, and IdjitCast and IntroCast for the TV series Supernatural. This will probably be the only time I self-promote that much, as there's so much to say. So, I'm a newbie for Roswell. I started on a whim, and when I found out it was leaving Netflix, I attempted a binge, but ended on the penultimate episode of Season 2. I sympathize with you on this. We lost Slings and Arrows off Netflix streaming just as we started Ghostlight. Anyhow, I discovered your podcast while waiting for the complete series DVD to arrive from Amazon. Now I'm torn. Do I listen along and like a good IntroCast newbie watch along at your pace, or binge ahead from where I left off? So far, the former, but no guarantees. I'm already a newbie on IdjitCast, and we are on Season 6, so it'll be possibly next decade before I'm done with Supernatural. So, on Blood Brother, I found it interesting that you read Topolsky's statement to Liz and Alex as her having the aliens' best interest in mind. I personally read that as she has Liz, Alex, and Maria's best interests in mind. I feel she's saying she wants to protect the humans from the aliens in this scene. I have a lot more questions going forward, and I might try to send feedback for the actual next episode, but this was getting long. Messages should be quite a bit shorter in the future. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
So when I first actually listened to this, I liked the idea of that ambiguity. I was wondering if I was in Liz's point of view so much that I assumed she was talking about Max, because Liz is always thinking and worrying about Max at this point. And then I went and checked the episode again. Topolsky clearly says his name. I was on your side. I just hope your friend Max doesn't end up in the wrong hands without me here. Those are her last words before she walks off into that hallway.
So she's got to be thinking about aliens and everybody else then when she says that.
Yes.
Much as I love the idea that she was in fact concerned about the teenagers, to the exclusion of the others.
Yes.
In fact, that would almost make more sense to me, but...
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't appear to be what she's saying, sadly.
The other thing which is interesting is that from her phrasing, it almost sounds as if she is concerned about Max not as a person, but as a weapon.
Oh, now that is interesting.
Yes. That I was here to
protect... And I would also,
yeah,
completely buy that from Topolsky.
Yeah, I was here to protect people from Max. Other people might want to use him against you.
I hope he doesn't end up in the wrong hands. Yeah. No, I can see that. I like that a lot.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, that'll be something to think about as we go forward, definitely.
Yes, especially through the first season.
Oh, yeah. If you agree or disagree with us, you can get in touch via Twitter at @alienscast, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/alienscast, or visit our blog at alienscast.com.
If you enjoyed this episode, please link to us on your blog, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you are on the internet. You can leave a review on iTunes, help other Roswellians find us. Our theme music is Epic Trailer Intro by Honey Lemon.
This podcast is released under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Find out more by searching for Creative Commons.
I'm Chris Calworth.
And I'm Claire, and this is Illegal Aliens, a Roswell podcast. Join us next Monday, June 26th, 2017, for a discussion of the 10th episode of Season 1, Balance.
In which Michael finds out about the drawings from Riverdog's cave, and Alex almost spoils the secret right away. Come on.
He doesn't even believe in it yet.